what is contextualization and why does it matter? I think we can learn a lot of lessons actually from a pizza place in Istanbul. Now, this pizza place was founded in 1956 in New York City, but the pizza that's on the menu here is very different than the pizza that's on the menu in New York. Here, you can't get pork on your pizza because pork is haram. It's prohibited in Islam. So in order for people to want to buy their pizza, they got to make it culturally contextualized. Also, there are items on the menu here that aren't on the menu in America. There's a Turkish version of a pizza pastry that's on the menu here that you would probably get in any other country. So, in order to be successful financially, in order to sell their product, they took their original idea and they modified it to fit the local context. Now, with the gospel, we don't change the message, but we understand that people interpret the message from their own context. The gospel is good news, but only if it's understood. So we have to take the gospel, put it into the local context, because ultimately we want indigenous believers. Indigenous means from the earth, from the soil. We want local people to understand the gospel in such a way that it looks like the gospel took root and actually started in their local context. Here's a way of explaining that. Amy and I lived for many years in Jordan. We would go to church and we could sing the songs. We could read the words. We enjoyed the worship. But there was a piece of us that that music, as important as it was, didn't touch our souls as deeply as if we were singing in our heart language. Why? Because our hearts were wired in such a way that emotively they connected with our language. The same thing applies. That's why we translate the Bible into a local language and we don't just translate.
Okay, so I'm back in Colorado and I need to insert a correction into this video. When I talked about translation, what I was trying to say was that there is no translation apart from interpretation. Here's an example. In English, we use the phrase, "He's pulling my leg," or "Are you pulling my leg?" Well, obviously, we don't literally mean pulling someone's leg. That's an idiom. Well, the Bible is full of idioms. So if we just translated the language word for word, we wouldn't actually get the proper meaning. So there is no translation apart from interpretation. So the interpretation process is part of contextualization. Okay, now let's jump back into the video.
We understand that in order for someone to really understand something, to feel it, to make it their own, it has to be in their local language. It has to be brought in to their local context. So that's what contextualization is. It's acknowledging the local culture, language, feelings, mores, all of the things that make up a culture, bringing in the message of the gospel, not just translating it, but interpreting it through a cultural lens so that it really takes on local flesh and blood, so that the Church of Jesus Christ can be planted, and so that when ultimately that happens, it doesn't look like a church from somewhere else. It looks like a church from there. After all, when we get to heaven, we aren't all going to be speaking one language. We're going to be speaking all of our own languages. The beauty is that we'll all just understand. So I hope this helps you today as we talked about the idea of contextualization. For more, follow one of these next videos.